Hey Worcester, I'm Tracy O'Connell-Novick and I'm running for Worcester School Committee because we deserve better. This Thursday, October 17th, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education is coming to the Worcester School Committee at 7 o'clock to present on Worcester's disciplinary and accountability data. Now if you're like me, that sentence made you a little bit scared. If instead it made your eyes start to glaze over, let's talk about why it's important. Mayor Petty and some members of the Worcester School Committee invited the state out to present on Worcester's data because of ongoing questions around the data that's being used by the district and the data that's being presented by others in the community. Now let's first of all be really clear, there's only one set of data. The department actually gets its data from the district, and that actually in turn then becomes the data that's being presented by community groups back to the district. So that part's a little bit out there. But if we're actually disputing what data we're using and what the data shows, we never actually get to being able to deal with the issues that the data may be showing. That in itself is already a problem. Now there's a number of things that we're going to see on Thursday night, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll hear about MCAS, but there's also been some things that we've already been talking about here in Worcester. We've talked about the disciplinary disparities that we see among different groups in the Worcester Public Schools and how that's an issue. We've also talked about chronic absenteeism. What we haven't talked about is something that City Lab at Worcester State did some work on, which was the tie between chronic absenteeism and our disciplinary disparities. And one thing that's been concerning me is what our graduation and dropout and extended engagement rates have been showing. Worcester's had a pretty good track record of improving its graduation rate over time. In recent years, that trajectory has somewhat fallen off, and what it hasn't happened is we haven't seen it replaced by an extended engagement rate, which just means sometimes it takes some kids more than 4 years to graduate. In fact, in the 2018 data, we saw that extended engagement declined among economically disadvantaged English language learners and former English language learners, high needs, and Latino students. Those are, of course, all groups that are very large in the Worcester Public Schools. Now this matters not only in terms of those individual students, but it matters because the days when you could drop out of high school and go get a job at US Steel or at Norton are long gone, as we know. We need students to be able to get through high school for their own good, but also for the good of the future of the city of Worcester. So when we talk about things like dropout rates and we talk about things like whether or not students are graduating, remember, we're not just talking about individual students, we're also talking about Worcester's future. I'm Tracy O'Connell-Novick. I hope I'll see you Thursday night. And remember, I'm running for Worcester School Committee because we deserve better.